There we go. Always nice to start with an issue on the mic. Sorry about that, team. Okay, so as you can probably tell, I sound a bit weird, not feeling too good, running a massive fever, hence fleece still on, sweating buckets. I'm going to do what I can. I probably won't last the whole session today, folks, all right? So I don't even know if I actively trade, but I was very, very aware that I took 10-day vacation only to be sick when I came back. So I think it's this new variant of COVID, which is not very fun. My kidneys are in pieces. But anyways, enough about me. Let's get into the charts then. All right, let's get into these charts. Let's start off on the daily. Let's move this up here. All right, daily, what have we got here? While I was away, what did you get? You got a really nice move from the top Bollinger Bands. We talked about these before I left, as they'll start to squeeze together. And then at this point here, you will get an opening of the bolls, allowing a bigger move. All right. The nice move from here came once you rejected and came back for mean reversion, 20-day, 5-day, and almost came back to that lower Bollinger Band. This is everything we talked about before I left you. Once this held, look at this very nice RBS level. Let's make this very, very simple. Here's your RBS. Resistance becomes support. Mean reversion 5-day, 20-day, almost lower bowl, finds a buy on Monday. There's your flag, there's your breakout. Tuesday is expansion of breakout. We are in breakout, all right? We are in a breakout territory in the market, which means what? There's only really one thing we're looking for a pro trend, which is upside. The problem is we've already started expanding. The buys were down here, maybe down here. I don't really want to be buying up here, do I? So we have to wait for either dips or we think about paying a mean reversal back into some of these key levels. So these are the things I'm looking at. What's the final target? Target will be on the adjusted all-time high. All right, the adjusted all-time high on the old contract. If you go to unadjusted, we've broken out. If you go to the QQQ, we've broken out. We're above it. So technically we're at all-time highs on absolutely everything other than this adjusted one. So maybe if we can get going, we're looking for sort of 866, something like that. All right, so that's what the daily is looking to do. It's looking to expand. Let's get back into the hourlies. All right, just stay with me down here on this one. Hopefully you can all see that. Hourly is doing nothing but expanding. All right, it has not swept anything. It's the one danger I would say. If we think about Monday, your current range for those trading weekly model with me is about 1,000 points. All right, there's your weekly model. So either we're going expansion or we're going to go for a dip back into that weekly model. All right, so you need to think about that, those who've done the course. We have not really cleared out anything. So Monday opens, gap down, push, push, little sweep here, push, 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 push. All H1 traders are comfortably in the money. No one has been swept. You can see even here, constant high, low, high, low, high, low. No one gets taken out. So I am just slightly concerned as we start to get into these 500s. There is, if it wants to, all right, an opportunity to come back. So whether they find bids off here, all right, for that move back upside, or if they want to go for a deeper drive and fail through some of these key levels, all right, if we get stuck under here, there is a short potential back down into an area where maybe we find bids down here for then this move up later. It all depends if they've got enough shorts cooked and trapped in this market already. But overall, the higher time frame is bullish. So I would love dips. I really don't want to be chasing up here. So I'll consider this. If we break down under, I would consider a short back down into some of these key levels. And if we find something like this down here, I'll start bidding back up, looking for the rotation back towards 500. Very, very simple. There's really only a couple trades today that I'm looking for, and those would be it. You can see on the 30-minute chart above, even cleaner, right? Either we held or hold Globex, please go away. Either we hold this for a continuation, or we get stuck, we break trend, and this would be a lower high for a counter trend short on the higher time frame, back down towards maybe levels of demand. Maybe we clean some of this up, maybe we come 5-day. I don't know where this stops, but at this point down here, I'd be risk off, and I'm looking to put risk back on as a bull. right? Those are the opportunities. Anything under 150, 200, I will reassess, because if we start getting under these levels, we're into sort of this choppy range down here. There are gaps down here. Remember, we did gap back up, so need to consider that. If we move into the lower time frame above, you can see the same thing, all right? All that we've done all morning is push bullish momentum. All right, here we go. There's your break. Here's your hold of the lower time frame. VWAP up, low time frame algo, VWAP up. We get the cross. There's your buy signal above previous day high, and we're just in continuation squeeze, very much like yesterday. Right, market is trying to go up. If you keep trying to force your way against it, you're going to get stuck. All right, it will become clear and obvious if and when, all right, they're looking to take profit. There's absolutely no sellers up here. Right, so you're not coming into a strong supply level where you've got people pushing it down, and the reason for that is because we're breaking out on the QQQ. All right, so if you want to understand why, there is no supply in the cash market. Right, just think about this. We're at all-time highs. Right, cash is king. I heard someone on Top Step say yesterday that they don't care about the cash market. Well, they are king idiots then, aren't they? Cash is king. We are breaking out, right, into all-time highs. Where is supply up here? None. There is none. It doesn't exist. All right, so don't expect huge sellers to come and slam this back down. You would have to see a failure and it create supply for us to have something to play against to the downside. When you're looking for targets now, what do you use? Well, you're going to have to use things like this. All right, things like fibs into expansive levels, whether it's measured moves or you're using 161s, whole numbers, all these kind of things. So the same things apply across all markets right now. ES and SPY are not at all-time highs yet. All right, they're lagging behind. Just so you're aware of what's going on. Just make sure you're aware, because we've had contract rollover. There is a difference between the cash and the ETFs right now. Let's have a quick look at the MAG. MAG is all gapping up as far as I can see. All right, gapping up on Apple underneath previous day high, inside yesterday's range. Remember, Apple was actually quite weak yesterday compared to the rest of the market. Microsoft, again, gapping up, spiked through. If that's a true print, I'm not sure, but if it is, spiked through previous day high, finding failures right now, but still holding VWAP. Very, very strong here from Amazon, gapping up and above previous day high. Goog, gapping up into previous day high. Meta, gapping up well above previous day high. It's a strong move from Meta. Nvidia, gapping up well above previous day high. And Tesla sort of had a pullback day yesterday. Those of you who would have seen before I left, I said Tesla was a good buy down here. Well, I think it proved my point. 220s all the way up to 350s. Everyone calling for the end of Tesla because they don't like Elon. We talked about it on stream. Your personal opinions, the market will not care about it. All right, you must trade technicals. Here is just proof. All right, so just stick with the technicals. Same as today, what we're looking at. Let's have a look at the VIX. VIX sub 17s. All right, you can see this sort of trend here on the VIX. If we get a flush under this, we're moving down into these low areas. This will just squeeze the market higher, as in for the SPY. If we start breaking sub 17 and coming into these low teens, this market is just going to keep going and going and going and going. So very, very aware about how we act here on the VIX. Let's move this back to the Qs. Move this in. There we go. All right, having a look at QQQ and SPY, we do have a bit of divergence between the ETFs like I talked about. So if you're watching the SPY, currently basing above previous day highs, the ES is not quite able to do that yet. QQQ on an absolute tear, well above previous day highs. All right, tech looking very, very strong right now. We're risk on in tech at the moment, probably because oil is selling off. Right, so they're taking their profits from oil and they're starting to rotate it back into the market. All right, so stocks are risk on right now, and that's why you're seeing this bid up. All right, let's have a look who's in chat here. Good morning, Marek. Let's move this over so I can read it. Can't turn my neck with all the fluid in it. Good morning, Marek, Richard, Clint, Ken, Ramus, Jeff, Christy, Lee, Ron Thumper, Brandon, Russell, Miguel, completely lost his voice in the Ibiza clubs. Yeah, I wish that was the case. Bowden, good morning, Array, Jeff, Jesse, Bart, Raphael. Come on, I can't see my chat now. Here we go. Raphael, Julian, Jack, welcome back to you as well. Good to see you. Alan, Dali, Aaron, Dre the Trader. Good morning, everyone. All right, so just bear with me today. I'll do the best I can. Ironclad, Beetle, good morning, everyone. It might be a shorter session for me today, so let's just see how we get going. I'll expand this for you. So you know what I'm looking at? We're bullish overall. It just depends if this market needs to pull back to clean out. This is a very, very strong move upside. Does the market pull back first, offering dips back down? All right, so maybe there's a counter trend short here if it does. And are we then looking for bids back up? Or if we're just going to expand straight upside, I'm probably not going to touch it. I'm probably going to leave it at that point and then see if it offers failure somewhere. I don't know where that will be, given that we haven't got much supply overhead. But if it does something like this, then I'll consider that counter trend short. But remember, the easy money today technically will be on a pullback into a good level that offers good demand for an upside push, right? That is the pro trend move. Is the pro trend move. You can tell I haven't been on stream for a long time. Hardly anyone here anymore. They probably all thought I quit. But I didn't. I didn't quit. I just took a holiday. Had a great time. Awesome, awesome, awesome holiday. Got to see some friends in Barcelona. 55 of us out in Ibiza together, which was amazing. And I had my friend's wedding just outside of Barcelona in Artafulla. Then back to Barcelona and then back here. All right, so do me a favor, everyone. If you could drop me a like on the video. Get these going nice and early. And slowly over the next coming weeks, I'm sure everyone will start returning. Definitely not better. I wish I was. I am wearing all black because I cannot stop sweating for the last 5 days. It's been awful. Absolutely awful. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick look at the liquidity on the book as well. Most liquidity up higher. Okay, 22,650, 22,600, 22,700 when I'm looking at the book map right now. All right, that's where the liquidity is stacked with bigger sizes. They're all up higher. There is a buyer down at 437, not much beneath him right now. So most liquidity up higher today. I'd like to see a morning dip. I really would. It would offer something of interest. If we just keep spiking up, it's going to be pretty hard to join this, given that we built and consolidated overnight down here in this Globex range before expanding out of it above previous day high. So I don't really want to be buying up here. A better buy is somewhere around here or even lower. I'm just very, very aware of that right now. Why is that not copied over? That's bizarre. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the open. Let this settle down, see how we go. Watching the ES, how it acts at previous day high. Sweat previous day high, getting sold into right now, finding bids on the ES. Looks pretty thin right here. So just let this all settle down and we'll see how we go. Oh yeah, the break was awesome. I had a nice mental reset. I didn't really look at the charts too much. Provided a bit of intel for the Discord room when I could. Here's the breakout then. Continuation squeeze higher right here. ES taking out previous day high. Market in a hurry to get going. VIX still dripping down at those low 17s. Like I said, liquidity's up higher on the book. All right, so they're acting like magnets to drag it higher. I would much, much rather... Where is my New York open? There we go. I'd much rather have not seen this do this, because the further up it goes, the harder it's going to be to join this at good value. My first day back trading as well. I don't know how active I'll be, but we'll see. Much rather see a morning dip be absorbed than something like this. ES getting stuck up there a little bit. Let's have a little morning readout on the mag. Tesla opening up down, just over 1/3% down. Nvidia 1.25% up. Meta 1/3% up. Google just under 1% up. Amazon 1.27% up. Microsoft 0.75% up. Apple 1.13% up. So most of the mag, other than Tesla, having a bullish open here. Just letting this calm down. Exuberant market right now. In a rush to take out those all-time highs, but the looks of it. Look where this liquidity was lying. Some levels on the daily. I'd say 570s, 560s, 570s, 660s, 700s, 740s, 750. Yeah, 750s. So first level I'd be looking at here, how we act into 570s. Through that, 670s is a 100-point range up there, and then 750s. I know lots of you in my Discord were long this morning from the low 400s, so we're getting long down here off this signal. Really nice, just a strong pullback into consolidation, and you can see that little inverted head and shoulders. Really, really nice with the trend break, buy signal, and then you go. You're off to the races. I don't really want to be buying up here. That was a great move down there. Even with my jet lag, that was a bit early for me. All right, back towards New York Open here. Yes, back under previous day high. See if they absorb these 500s, or if they're going to let this go for a deeper wash down back towards 440s. Previous day high in VWAP. We can also put an anchor on. I'm just letting this build out here. Plenty of time, remember, plenty of time. Any of you who've watched the market the last few days, that opening range, initial balance have come in very, very useful. Yesterday was the same. Prints above the IB, prints above the orb, and we just get a bullish trend continuation. Day before that, can't remember, maybe last week, we had a very, very typical range rotation day. How did you all do while I was away anyway? Hopefully lots of you made some good money. The market was sort of in range consolidation most of the time I was away by the looks of it. Spent a lot of time just backwards and forwards in some decent rotation until it got enough shorts caught for that move on Monday and Tuesday this week. It's probably spent, I don't know, really from, what was that high? 11th of June? I don't even remember what day I went away now. Okay, so just doing the dance here around the 500s, that whole number, that New York Open is still bullish. No reason to be thinking about short yet. Think about the H1, new H1 bar coming in 25 minutes, new H4 bar coming in 25 minutes. That might offer a trade. Jeff, Breen, every day I was away, my teaching has paid off. Jeff, that is phenomenal. Great work. Great work, buddy. Thanks, Mr. Slim. Okay, so new high here printed. 530. Flow zone still all bullish so far. Every time frame saying upside right now. We are expanding outside the daily Bollinger Band. It's one thing I'm slightly concerned about. It's not a great position for a new money long. VIX breaking down, sub 17 here. All right, first time we've seen that in a while. Sub 17s on the VIX. Boda, not too shabby for me. Think only one red day. But the best part was putting in everything into practice I've learned from you without you. Yeah, that's amazing. That's the aim of the game, right? You got to be able to put the system into place and trade it. That's great work. Great work. Bear with me, folks. I'm going to have to get another tissue here. Oh, all right. VIX finding a bid under 17, back testing 17 now. So they flushed it down to 1693. They're bidding it back up just to back test the 17s. Let's see how it operates here. ES trying to find a bid over that previous day high. It hasn't broken out yet the same way the Qs have. Tesla is still in a sell here. All right, Tesla 1% down now, over 1% down. Market not in unison yet. Google very strong, 2% up. That's your leader on the day out of the mag. You have me 6 minutes behind. I don't know. Maybe press the live button on your thing. You shouldn't be 6 minutes behind. The delay is one second my side. I can see it. So I'm not sure why. Reset your computer or something. No worries, man. All right, still bullish. Market continues to squeeze upside. Like we said, no supply overhead on the cash market in QQQ. The only time you are going to find a sell here in this market is when they want to take profit. Coming into that first level on the daily. My first level on the daily I was looking at. Let's try and not that one. This one here. Right, you can see these levels here. Like close and open right there. Right, I'm looking at what date's this? Feb 19th, Feb 20th, Feb 19th, Feb 21st. You had a low, a close, and an open, all at sort of 550. So I'm watching how we operate into these 550s, right? This right here. Look at this low, Feb 19th low. We open there, Feb 20th. We close there, Feb 21st. It's a big level. So I'm watching into that. Through that, we're going to look for the highs here, 660s. And once we get through that, we'd be looking at 740s, might as well call it 750s. And once we get through that, you best believe we're going all-time highs. Do I think we're doing that today? Very unlikely, but if they set a giant squeeze, it's possible. You can see so far, just continuation. We're just in a continuation squeeze right now. Nothing else. So swing traders having the most fun in this market. If you were long Monday, or if you bought calls Monday, you're very comfortable right now. Hopefully those of you who are long pre-market in Discord took some profits and then are holding runners here. Yeah, still not showing me conviction over this previous day high. It's going to come and back test it now. Or there or thereabouts, into see how it operates between 55 and 57 in the ES. It needs to hold a bid down there. SPYs are comfortably above that previous day high, so cash players are in the money right now. Four minutes left until this opening range. Liquidity on the book at 550. Lots of buyers down lower right now, 530, 515 if they want to come and clean some out, find some dips. There's your 530s taken out, 515 the next level on the book if they want to come down for him. Tesla trying to find some bids here. Remember, yesterday was a clear example that every single dip was, bought up until the end of day. Bulls are in total control. They came for that 530. Let's see if they flush 530 now. You should get a move down to 515. Otherwise, they should print right back up to 550. Take out that liquidity above and get going. Cannot be looking for shorts in this market right now. Pro trend is up. Everything's saying upside. It will make it clear and obvious when it's ready for a counter trend pullback. Until then, you must respect it. Hey, DK. Here goes ES. So that last back test is all it needed. Now it's trying to get going for that expansion higher on ES. So it faffed around for a little while here, both pre-market and at the open. It's starting to try and get going now. $160 here on ES. Nvidia and Google with the strength today. Love to find a way of buying this, but I'm just not interested in buying up here. Number 5, what did we say? 550s? Yeah, 550, 560, big level. These levels up here, big levels. On daily time frames. There's a 70 lot here at 50 that you're going to try and clear out. Look on the ES. Where's the liquidity on the ES? 6170, 6180 on the ES. Massive buyers on the ES down at 6130, right? 450 lot and 100 lot underneath them. So basically 600 buyers, 600 lot basically at 6130. The sellers are at 6162, 6170, 6180 on ES. So let's just see. It's like yesterday. It might just be a slow grind until they're ready to take some profits. We've been spoiled with so much volatility and big follow through this year that when it starts to dry up a bit, it feels boring. $650. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, I see him. Nice one, dude. Thanks, Miguel. They're still looking to take their 550 out and then 560 out. So far, can't get through him. Opening range now set. Those white lines on your screen. That's your orb for your 15-minute orb. Those of you who trade it. Yeah, showing good strength here. Keeps absorbing. I think we have, it's Powell testifying at 10 o'clock again. I can't imagine he's going to say much that would move the market, but it's definitely one thing to be aware of. Is there home sales? I'm trying to remember. Let's have a little look. Something today at 10, isn't there? Yeah, home sales as well. So news coming in 15 minutes or so. Some selling coming in here on the tape. See if they absorb it, if they trap like yesterday, or if they're going to let this through. Back towards previous day high on the ES. Remember, we're a long way from previous day high on anything else. Meta is starting to sell a bit here. VIX reclaiming 17s here, so just letting this settle down for a minute. Right into the anchor view up, being absorbed into flow zones and anchor view up so far. Again, no reason to short this. Any short would have to become very clear and obvious for me. And the shorts today will be counter trend versus the high time frame. Just remember that. I'd watch ES. If ES can get under previous day high and make a lower high under there, there's an argument for a counter trend short back down lower. Your range really pretty tight so far. NQ only 55 points. It's nothing. We got spoilt for a long time with 300 plus point initial balances. It seems like there's volatility slowed down for a little while. Oh, they're going to come and check down towards New York Open now. Watching again, like I said, watching ES into previous day high. If it's set to lower high underneath that, it's possibly of interest. Otherwise, it can just find a bid on previous day high to bid all the way back up again. So far, not even got to previous day high yet. SPY under its VWAP. QQQ into VWAP, starting to sell here. Do they get continuation lower here? Here's previous day high on ES. This is what's going to be key now. If they're going to set a lower high here, or if they're going to find a bid. Maybe we can trade right down to New York Open. Stronger selling coming in here on the tape. Bids are at 500 right now. If they start letting go of that, remember we're very, very steep on the higher time frame. We can easily come and clear up down towards 450, 435. Very, very easily come and do that move. So letting go now. You can see, look at the ES underneath previous day high, straight back to VWAP. Finding a bid on VWAP here. So I want to see if they set a lower high, if they'll be kind enough to set a lower high rather than just flush straight out to get involved in. Otherwise, I have to change my approach on this. There's New York Open flushing through, joining into this. Can we get continuation under the opening range? We'd like to see a deeper wash here down to VWAP. Some profit taking starting to take place. So think about that H1. We can come all the way back down. Very, very deep if it wants. Those last wicks I'll be watching to see how we operate into the 80s here. Really would like to see pops start to fail here if I'm going to think about putting any size in. Books thinning out a bit here. Some buyers trying to show up around the 500s. We're just back to the New York Open and the opening range. So we can still rotate back up if it wants. So very, very cautious here. I want to watch how ES operates into its VWAP. It's letting go of the lower time frame algo here. Dangerous areas for the ES here. I want to see if it can pop up and find sellers. Don't want to chase the lows here. I've got a tiny piece on. Already locked load in on the flush down to the orb. Tesla heavy. 2.75% down. Lower time frame algo being bid off on the ETF so far. Can we get a pop up to fail? That's the question right now. Still holding this opening range after sweeping it. This is your New York Open right here. I'd like to see a push and then a fail, or a come underneath and get stuck and then fail. I don't want to just see it hang around here. Not ideal. There we go. Can we get continuation now down towards view up and below then? Remember, these shorts I'm in right now, they're counter trend. Right? I'm expecting to see these to be absorbed at some point. These are just a pullback. This is all I'm playing here. This is a pullback, so I'm already taking some profits. If we set a lower high, if we pop and fail, I will be more interested in thinking about a deeper price. Otherwise, not really too interested. Let me just get my anchor in on another chart. Does that match up? 22s, yeah. All right, so ES reclaiming, view up, holding its lower time frame algo. Look at the SPY, those of you who've traded with me. Look at the SPY versus its lower time frame algo, trading right back up to previous day high. So finding bids there. So it was just a sweep out to find bids. Now, this is the interesting level here, whether they come back in and sell this. All right, so this is the question. Is this going to be sold for a continuation, or is this a sweep and we're going all the way back up to the high? So just waiting to see here. I already locked in down here. I want to see if there's a new trade available here. Otherwise, I won't be touching it. Still would like deeper prices before I start bidding on the Qs. New H1, H4 coming as well. So think about what this candle might look like. All right, so if we get a push and fail on the new H4, it's very probable we come down here or at least fill some of this. If we flush and reclaim, then we go high on the H4. But think about the last four candles. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your low, there's your high on the H4. Yes, coming back to the range where it just washed out from. All right, starting to come into some interesting areas here. If they're going to have follow through for a next leg down, lower time frame, they're going to need to do it here or around here soon. If ES starts reclaiming previous day high, I think any follow through for shorts is non-existent in the market, and we just squeeze all the way back up. So here's previous day high, like I said. These are the areas to watch. Here's VWAP on the Qs. Big levels here, folks. Market will need to make its decision of like what's next. Was that dip enough? Is that caught enough shorts for it to try and make new highs? As we're 4 minutes away from the new H4 bar. So far, it certainly seems that way. ES reclaimed. Remember, all the big liquidity is up higher. Oh, I'd love a bigger drive lower, not to even play short, just to feel like I can get long without chasing. All right, it feels like they've caught the shorts down those lows again. So back inside the opening range, rotation back upside now. Maybe they go for expansion here. So that was really pretty much lackluster, which says a lot. You know, all we did, this is a small move, might look big. This is 60 points range. It's nothing, and we're going straight back up. So all we did was sweep underneath here, find bids, go straight back upside. So still in range rotation in between here until proves otherwise. Yes, very, very strong though. Look at that dip. It's much, much better move on ES this morning. Offered a much better move into the lower time frame algo, which would have been all the way down here for us. We were going to take the same play. And we got here 2 minutes. Just going to wait for this new bar. Oh my god. 62-point range on the NQ. Are you kidding me? This is shocking. Thanks, JD. No, definitely not feeling better. Nowhere near it. I just thought I'd try and come back today. Let you guys know I'm still alive. I just took one small short from here to here. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing to trade right now. Everything's just flattened out. Look, we're just flattened out. There's no range in this market. It's just gone into a holding pattern. 60 points, range rotation inside opening range, right? No direction. We're not outside of it. High time frames in a buy, but we're up very, very extended without washing anyone. And the flow zones and the VWAPs have started trading sideways. So let's see what we get on this new H4 bar. Maybe we can get some movement out of this either way. Less than ideal action here this morning. Very, very tight. I want to be a buyer. I just want to be a buyer lower. Yeah, same place, but I'm not convinced yet. Remember, we're above all key levels. Everything's saying higher right now. So any pullback would be a counter trend pullback for buyers to step back in. So let's just see. Give it some time. Give it some time. See if it can make a decision. See if we can get underneath the opening range. Get some action here. Still holding deep pullback, still above the New York Open. Yes, back to previous day high. I'm watching to see if they bid off this now, or if they're going to let it go. Here's New York Open. Yes, letting go of PDH. They're going to revisit VWAP here by the looks of it on ES. Are we going to do the same on the Qs? That's the question. Still just inside the opening range. Still above New York Open for now. Right tapping into New York Open now. So are they going to let go of that New York Open? Are we going to go on this session red? And are we going to sweep underneath the opening range and start drifting back down towards those VWAPs and maybe underneath? Sweating. So stronger 5-minute bar here. How long have we got left in it? A couple minutes. Yeah, still protecting its VWAP so far. SPY back to previous day highs. So you have divergence here in how they're positioned as well between cash and ETFs. We talked about it in the pre-market. I think I've lost connection here on Ninja Trader. Disconnect here and try and come back on. Data's gone. Oh, great. You gonna come back anytime soon, whenever you want, Ninja Trader. There we go, data back. All right, opening range underneath New York Open. Maybe now you might start to get a flush. Oh God, this computer's gone mental. Anyone else having this? Ninja Trader just doing absolutely nothing. It winds me up, mate. Yeah, I've got massive lag. Oh dear. Try to reset again. See if this matches. There we go. Finally back. Don't know what happened there. Okay, so what did we get? Sorry, couldn't even see what was happening with Ninja Trader or Tradeovate, probably the data provider. Might still go lower here. All right, it's potential here. They're protecting this for now. This is your lower high. If they build another lower high here and sweep this, we might go lower. Otherwise, it's trap down there, but let's just see. Again, you're still in the opening range. There is absolutely no size today. 62 points. You're still playing with 62 points in the first 36 minutes of the NQ. I cannot remember the last time I said that, but that's where you're at. Here's the New York Open again. SPY into its previous day high again. The question is, are they going to break down here or not? Do they let this go? Remember, any breakdown here is just counter trend. It's all it is. It's a counter trend for longs to bid back up later, is to come back to a higher time frame level. This is a new H1, H4 bar. We talked about this being probable to come back in. It has an imbalance. It can come under 480 all the way down to 450 and below if it wants. I'm watching these levels here. Right? If it wants to come under here and find some bids, so far, these H1 bars, no H1 bar really has swept out anything. The last one to do it was 7 a.m. yesterday, and even then it didn't take out a swing pivot. Not this week, really. I guess Monday at midday, that's it. It's the only one which has taken out a swing pivot, which was a trap. Nothing else on an H1 has even attempted to do it. That's been the strength of buyers, so I'm very, very aware of that. Trump's talking, is he? Let's have a look, see what that says. Let's see if I can put him on. The M1 New York Open is different on the M5 and M1 NT chart. Is that normal? No, it shouldn't be different. I changed my NinjaTrader to 931 open because it calculates its open and closes differently to any other charting software for some bizarre reason. Why they do that, I don't know, but they do. Okay, back down to New York Open again here. Remember, they keep absorbing this and these kind of levels. If we start getting flushes below here, there is a deeper move possible. And like someone pointed out, you also have Trump talking. Possibly looking for that move down underneath those swing points towards VWAP like we talked about. Back down towards here. And then if we get heavier, back down towards here as possible. Can they sweep any of this liquidity out into 80s and below? So far, it doesn't look like it, does it? Here we go. Here's an attempt at it. Still can't get below. Sellers are trying here as well. All right, so all the time sellers are trying and not succeeding. You have to take note of it. You can see, watching the book map, I can see they keep attempting for a break below. They're trying to hold underneath 500 for that wash of 80s back towards VWAP. They're not getting what they want yet. ES is finding bids in front of VWAP. There you go. So that, like I just said, they can't get what they want. It's a battle down here, folks. When you see sellers coming in like that and it increased sell pressure and we don't move, it's a problem for sellers. It's how they get trapped. They will need to see a breakdown under these. They're looking for this to snap, come under the orb for an expansion down, possibly towards previous day high. That's what they're looking to do. You're looking to join with them here. Here's the orb. Can they get expansion underneath the orb? Can they get it? Tapping the orb again. Stuck underneath New York Open, which is good. There's your flush. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Beautiful, beautiful move. So VWAP like we talked about. So if you took that, well done. Got your breakdown. I grabbed a little small piece of that. Watching to see if there's going to be continuation now or if they're just going to trap down here. Again, we talked about it on the H1. Think about what we talked about on the H1. Cleaning up these two wicks into this imbalanced candle. Look, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're coming into here. The last H4 open close, you're looking for a trade down to 420. If they're going to reprice this whole H4, they're going to come back down towards 450, 420. If they're just going to come into the imbalance, they're going to sweep 80s and trade back upside. So again, trading the H1, H4 bars. Yeah, Trump can say what he wants about Israel and Iran. Like, the guy's said loads of stuff which hasn't happened. So let's just see. Yeah. I don't think Israel will ever stop bombing any Arab nation, to be quite honest. They've been at it for as long as I can remember, as long as I've been alive. And, you know, if USA hasn't been successful in actually getting rid of their nuclear grounds in Iran, which is what it sounds like, even though he's denying it, all the evidence is suggesting that, you know, Iran moved all their uranium, then who's to say that Israel doesn't do something again? But we'll see. Yeah, the market's over it. Like, there's only so many times you can cry wolf and the market's going to react, you know? Really, the focus should be on the tariffs because we've only got 2 weeks until deadline day. Here comes more continuation on the ES. Back to its lower time frame algorithm on the spiders. And if we're going to get an orb play here, it's going to have to reject, get beneath VWAP and start expanding down to previous day high. 450s. Remember, 480s is that H1 level, which we're starting to try and clean up a bit, and then we've got an imbalance in there. So it might find bids in there, it might come lower. We have to wait and see. There you go, there's the lower move. Nice continuation. All right, so sweeping 80s like we talked about. Now it might come down for 50s. It's not out the question that it might want to come down for 50s here. Previous day high. Previous day high here. Globex down here. So into that H1 imbalance, finding a bid there so far after sweeping 80s. Think about how we act into this orb here. Do we start reclaiming orb and New York, or do we reject it for a move lower? Watching this lower time frame algo. If we start snapping back down towards previous day high, would be a good target if we could. Back down to 50s, that's what I'm looking for if we can get continuation. Those in Discord, think about what we said this morning about the spike. If we spike this morning without pulling back, what I'm going to look for, the counter trend back down into some of these key levels, which we're starting to get. So think back to what we said this morning. this one right here. The spike, what did I say? 520s. We went a bit higher. We got to 550s and then coming back down. And if we start failing here, we can think about what happens next. Okay, bidding off that lower time frame algo here. I want to see how we react into New York Open and the orb. Watching ES into VWAP. Remember, these shorts today are higher time frame pullbacks. That's all it is. All it is this. Maybe to go higher. I'll change that narrative if we get stuck under here. I'm interested in being a buyer, maybe down here, if we can get there. Missed the 50s. I was looking for 50s. So if we reclaim orb in New York, good chance we see a squeeze. ES into VWAP here. Lower time frame algo, absolute money. All right, here's the orb. Here's New York Open. Just waiting now, waiting to see what we do next. Not against a short at these levels, but a bit risky after we've already come down. I want to see how we act here. If there's continuation, if there's any sellers left to go lower. Here's the VWAP. If they bid off this, then I think shorts are off the table. If they let this go, then I think that previous day high might be back tested. ES rejecting its VWAP there as well. So if they let go of these levels, I think we can get down to previous day high. If they don't make a new low here, that's where shorts will get trapped. If we get under previous day high, we can keep going lower. PDC not out the question. Remember, the gap up was from PDC 412s is what I'm looking. That would be a full gap fill. 412s would be a full gap fill. Down here, which is also the trend line. If they're going to do it, who knows? Remember, we're into that H1 imbalance here. We've swept out the easy money, or the first target easy money, which was the H1 wicks. We've taken those out. Question is, how much deeper does it want to go? Does it want to go previous day high? Does it want to go PDC? Or does it want to protect the imbalance? I don't know how much I've got left in the tank here. I'm not feeling too great. Again, look at the H1. Hopefully you guys understand why I was looking for this move to here. That was an easy money move. If they bid off this, we can go higher. If they flip this and let this go, we're going to come and back test these levels. All right. Hey, Firewater. Lots of liquidity underneath us now. 470, 465, 460, 440, 55, 450. Looking to get filled there. There's a buyers. Those are all buyers looking to get filled down there. I have to go and get some drugs here, folks. Oi. Oh my gosh. Still stuck at that orb. Range is still not very big here, folks. Maybe 100 points or something. If sellers fail to make a new low here, this is where they get stuck, right? Remember, this is the H1 imbalance. Sellers will need a new low down to these levels for them to be comfortable. Otherwise, they're going to get caught. Tesla is in an absolute puke mode here. 5% down now. 17 points down on the day. 17 bucks down, I should say. ES attempting it. 150s on ES psych level. If we start reclaiming, I'll be interested in getting long, but I'd rather it goes deeper first. Love it to come into 50s, even deeper. Deeper, better. Nvidia and Google the strong ones today. Tesla with weakness. Meta just going green to red. Everything else holding up. Here goes sellers having another attempt. There's the break. Can they get continuation now? They got their break. Can they get continuation? Can they get down to previous day high and below? Remember, all the buyers are operating down here. You can see them all on the book. 60, 55, 50s, a little bit of 45. Let me just see if there's much, but no, not really. An instant bid up there. Watching ES at VWAP. If you get a reclaim here, then this will be a good signature that those the selling's exhausted down there. If they start reclaiming New York Open and Orb. Yes, wasn't too far away from gap fill. Where was Spiders? Yeah, it's quite far. So leaving the gap open so far. Short's probably looking for that gap fill move, not getting it yet. Fail breakdown here. If they start to reclaim these levels up here, we can think about longs. Right, if we're going to do one of these, we can think about longs for a rotation back towards highs. Remember, that would be the pro trend. If they fail this and they keep building liquidity here to break down, then they're going to look for these gap fills or previous day high and gap fill. SPY coming into its VWAP now as well. and PDH. So big levels all around here. I'm gonna let this build out some more liquidity. I've made a little bit of money today. I'm only trading one account, so I'm up just under, well, just under 500. Can I do my maths right? Yeah, 490. Not a lot, but not well enough to be trading any size or accounts linked right now, so just taking my time. View up here on spiders. Selling into those so far. Man, it's tough when the range is so small like this. A bit like yesterday, that grind up. Well, I think the way to think about that, Blake, is to sort of change the question. Price action doesn't need to go your way. You just need to be able to stick to your rules. So you should be upset at yourself if you don't stick to your rules. You can't be upset with yourself if price action doesn't go your way. And you have to create rules for you to engage. All right. So if you're engaging in price action, it needs to be doing things that you want to see. If you then engage and it doesn't do what you want, but you've stuck to your rules, that's just how it is. I mean, your job as a trader is to manage risk, not to be right. I go over this a lot. Like, people get obsessed with winning. They think like trading is about winning. It's not about winning. You can't go through life and never lose a game, but they think they can trade and never lose a trade. So just, you need to change how you think about it. It's okay if price doesn't go your way. Like, it's not always going to go your way. If you've got enough back testing, you should know what percent of the time you win with your strategy. And then, you know, for me, I know I'm going to lose 30% of the time, or a bit less than that, but on average, somewhere around there. I normally shoot around 68%. So if I'm losing every now and again, that's okay. That's the market not doing what I want it to do, but that's all right. It's not going to do what I want to do all the time. You can't get upset. $5.50. Yeah, I see him. Thank you, Miguel. I'm going to zoom my screen out a bit here. Right, they're trying to reclaim here. They're trying to reclaim New York. It's a little tricky with VIX trading back up to previous day low. So I'm just sort of waiting to see how VIX operates here. Because what I don't want to do is think about getting long through New York Open and have VIX just start ripping through previous day low. It feels like this wants to start squeezing higher here. But they are making it a little bit tricky with the VIX. This can still just be a bear flag to break down technically. ES cannot get through, or the spiders cannot get through their VWAPs. The New York VWAP on the spider, it cannot get through it. Last 2 5-minute bars who've gone up there got absolutely slapped every time they've approached it. So I mean, that for me, I'm just going to wait. I'm not thinking about longs unless I can see that change. Same with the Qs. We're still underneath the VWAPs right now on New York VWAP up here. Right, so we're just trading between 24-hour VWAP and New York VWAP. It will get tighter and tighter and tighter. Oh. Initial balance now set as well. These purple lines are your IB. So again, so far just in a range rotation day. Nothing else has changed. Tight range. Google saying hold my beer. Yeah, almost 3% up now. Absolutely flying. Maybe that was enough of the pullback. Maybe that's all it wanted to do on the H1. If that's good enough for it to expand. But again, I want to see ES get going if we're really going to think about it. Remember, we're basing over previous day high. ES is not doing that. And SPY is rejecting VWAP and rejecting previous day high right now. So we're not in unison. It's because tech's strong. Look at the Mag 7, 6 of them comfortably green. Or at least 5 of them. Meta barely green. Tesla down significantly. I feel worse today than I did yesterday. We did get stuck at those 550s though, just in front of it, which was that daily level we talked about, 550s, that open, close and low from back in February 21st, 20th and 19th. We are still extended on the Bollinger Bands on the daily as well. Very rare we get closes outside of them on a new day, but it's possible. Anything's possible in this market with Trump. We've seen lots of rules change when it comes to technicals. Can't get through that New York Open yet. No 5-minute close over that. Yes, no close, or SPY no close over its VWAP. Building to try and squeeze. You can feel it, but it's just not able to do it yet. Here's the 500s. The squeeze over 500s now. The VWAP here. Can SPY get going though over its VWAP? Still rejecting it. Another rejection there on the SPY at the VWAP. Oh my gosh. And again, SPY rejecting its VWAP. Clear as day. Clear as day. That's 1, 2, 3 5-minute bar approaches getting slammed. If they let that through, then it has the chance to rotate higher. But at the moment, you are just not seeing SPY able to close over previous day high or VWAP. And that for me is concerning if I'm thinking about a long on the Qs. That might change, but right now that's what I'm looking at. A lack of confluence to go higher at the moment. Again, that can change, but right now that is what I'm seeing. You're going to have another attempt here. Q's having another attempt as well. Q's looking to break through 510 to take out the stops at 16s and get up to 550. It's what it wants to do, but it's just, it needs the ES to go with it. It really needs the ES to go with it. And you are just in a rotation. Remember, we've just gone from IB high to IB low to VWAP. That's all that's happening at the moment. Standard initial balance rotation. So IB rotation in an outside bar. Consolidating for the next move, basically. Best way of putting it. Pretty boring action, isn't it, really? Not a lot you can do with this. And ES failing VWAP again. Or I should say SPY. There you go. When that changes, we can get a squeeze. But until that point, I have to respect that sellers in the cash market on the spiders are selling VWAP and previous day high. When that changes, there's potential for a squeeze back to the initial balance high. But right now, that's what I'm seeing. I keep saying the same thing. That's all I'm seeing. The spiders are being sold into previous day high and VWAP. That is the divergence between the NQ and the spiders right now. They're not in unison. So if you're looking for longs on NQ, if SPY won't give you that long, it's going to be problematic. If SPY doesn't join in, it's going to make it very, very hard for you to get a long rotation all the way up. Yeah, I don't disagree, Raphael. I just think I'm watching SPY, and if it doesn't want to do it and it's left a triple bottom at the initial balance, it is kind of saying, hey, you can keep trying, but if you don't succeed and you get a stop run of 607, it's going to hurt. And it's going to hurt bad. Buyers keep trying and they don't get their way. That's when they get stuck, right? Same when sellers try and they don't get their way. Hopefully it's building to go high because that's the pro trend. It's the easier move. Let's hope it does the move. They're trying again here, bouncing off lower time frame algo. They've just got to get through previous day high and VWAP. Right, once they do that, I think NQ's off to the races and you get a move back up to the initial balance high. I'm quite happy to join in long when it's ready. Through the 500s. Can it get through 500 and start squeezing? Can ES start participating in here as well? Here we go. Can we get to VWAP? Looking to participate a little bit in this. Can we get going now? Let's just squeeze through VWAP and get going, please. Again, ES, SPY is trying. Look at SPY getting slapped on VWAP again. Here's the battle. The battle is over at the spiders. That's what's holding this up. Oh, I'm starting to really drip the sweat now. If they do not get the squeeze on the spiders, I would be concerned about that triple bottom. Should come, but it doesn't have to. And you're basically just midpoint of the initial balance as well, remember. SPY still unable to do it. I'm going to take this off break even and just wait. It's messy. This is messy the way it looks. Yeah, you're right. Relative weakness RTY. That's not surprising though. What's crude doing? Crude having a better day today. Gold flat. Dixie flat. It does look like a big bear flag, but if it starts reclaiming, and we'll use this liquidity and these stops to go higher. And remember, you're zoomed in right now to this on a lower time frame. And that's probably the least important thing you can look at, because right here is what really matters. That's a continuation trade. So just remember that. Don't get too caught up on the lower time frame. Here goes ES now going through the VWAP, through previous day high. Does it have any follow through today? All these levels to rotate back to high of day or not? So I'm selling here, and then 25, 30, and 50. But yes, really getting going now. Can we get all the way back up to that initial balance high and through it, to be honest? Is there a case for it to go through it? Really nice on the H1. Everything we talked about. Sweep these stops into the imbalance, find a bid. I would have loved it to come a bit deeper into 50s, but it is what it is. And the big seller's up at 550. So that's where they're looking to rotate, top of the initial balance range. I'd say there'll be some stops here into 16s, and then looking for 34s and then 50s. Looks good here. Can we get a squeeze out? Come on, market, let's go. Let's go. Yes, almost there already. Just like that. Just like that. ES approaching already. Hilarious. All it needed to do was get through the VWAP and previous day high. So coming into its initial balance high now already. So you've got divergence with the NQ now, because NQ is nowhere near it. And you've got sellers here, 25, 30, 40, and 50s. Trading up to that last H1 open as well. We just tagged it. Not ideal. Back to VWAP. ES might come all the way back down to VWAP and PDH here. Wouldn't surprise me at all after that push. Squeezed everyone out. We're just in range rotation, remember. We're not outside of any initial balance or even the orb, by the way. As a reminder. Not much liquidity beneath here, so you'd expect them to try and hold this. If they don't, it could get nasty. Here's previous day high again on the ES. Not there yet on the SPY because you have divergence. Again, there you go. Nothing below. And I said it could get nasty. There you go. So there's a little run. So the range rotation continues. This is like another day of rotating to build liquidity here. No continuation trade either side. All happened overnight, in my opinion, and nothing really to do here at that point. Can't do anything when they do this for a continuation. It's just pathetic. There's no range in this to play. So just better sit on the hands and wait now. Yeah, the pushes are, what's the ATR here? 11. I mean, I don't think I'd even trade this normally, so definitely don't want to trade it when I'm not feeling great. God, this is boring. I don't know how you guys have been trading this, if it's been like this since I've been away. This is a very boring market. If they start failing here, there's a good chance that they come and clear out towards PDC. There really is a good chance it can do that. Yes, back to VWAP. It's just boring. Are they going to go PDC now? I don't know. ES is trying to bid off its VWAP. SPY is under its V. You just got literally divergence everywhere. SPY is under its VWAP. ES isn't. QQQ's under its VWAP. NQ's at VWAP. It's got a triple bottom here if it wants to clean up to go lower after just doing that drive and squeeze out. And if it breaks that triple bottom, I think it's going PDC. If we hold this range where we've accumulated from, it can try and have another go higher, but it's messy. This is just range rotation inside a tight range here. Initial balance is not very big, folks, and we've not expanded it. You're playing in 84 points today on the NQ. That's all you're playing in. Nice welcome back present, yeah. So it's been all right, has it? It hasn't been like this. I mean, this is really pretty poor on all accounts. That's what happens when all the moves happen overnight. It seems to have been, from what I've looked at recently, seems to be happening a lot. They're doing the move Asia and London, and then the AM session of New York is terrible. I don't think I've got much longer in me. Maybe try and get to the new hour, see how I feel. 7 minutes. That last H1 bar was interesting, though. The last 30 minutes. Big drive up, sold into the open close levels. So just basic S&R, big drive up, sold into up here. So sweet drive up, sold into, coming back down now. We haven't got long left. We've got like 6 minutes for this H1 to close. At the moment, it might close inside the last H1 bar after expanding lower, by the looks of it. Morning, Paul. All right, 5 minutes to this new H1 bar. Looks like we're going to close back inside it. SPY coming back towards its previous day high and VWAP again, so it's coming to back test that again. I wouldn't say there's any direction here whatsoever right now. Inside initial balance, inside your opening range, flat at the New York Open. Nothing's changed. Price hasn't changed. Yeah, exactly. Everything's very, very tight. I'm going to use a bathroom here. I'll be right back. Okay, how are we doing? Another minute left. Vacation was good, thanks, man. Really good. I've just been really sick, unfortunately, the last few days of vacation and since I got back. Yeah, the problem here is I'm looking at ES and all the liquidity on ES is, well, a lot of liquidity stacked into 40 and 42s and then at 58 and 60s. And it's just pinned. So ES is just pinned in rotation and it hasn't got down to those 40 and 42s yet. So NQ is probably just waiting for ES to make a decision, basically, because it hasn't got the same liquidity underneath that the ES has at the moment. And if you look at the SPY again, other than that squeeze through the VWAP and previous day high, which then failed in front of initial balance, came right back down, and now is back under those same levels and cannot get over them again. It's ugly out here, folks. This is ugly. It is not fun. Maybe just wait. I mean, it's a no news day as well. After a big gap up, so maybe just waiting for tomorrow. Is your new H1 bar coming now? Do they do anything with it? I mean, that last H1 bar is not very nice. It's an inside bar. Sorry, the last 30-minute bar. And VIX is still trying to get up to previous day low. I don't feel good about longs all the time that's happening. I took one little short and that's it. And one little long that I got stopped out, break even on, but there's nothing to trade here. There's no range to trade unless we're going to get some expansion downside to get to PDCing, start cleaning up some of these levels, which we then can get long from, or unless ES is going to show a bit of strength here and a bit of character. I don't think there's much we can do with it. No bias right now. High time frame is higher, but no real bias. There's no bias in this market really. We're just look at this. It's just messy. Just consolidating sideways. We're in a range. That's it. I would love it to move lower to offer a better buying opportunity. That's what I'd love. If it breaks down here and moves low, it would be really good, but it just is unwilling to do anything at the moment. There we go. Are they going to clean it up? They're trying. They're trying to clean up the lows back down towards PDC and PDH. That's what they're trying to do. Because it's all because of ES has those buyers down at 6142, 6140. ES is trying to get down there. That's where most of the liquidity is. So it's trying to get down there to pick those guys up. It's just whether it can get down there or not. And with NQ being so strong today, you know, Nvidia 3% up, Google 2.32% up. It might not need to. It's trying. It's trying. It's desperately trying to get through that initial balance low. There you go. Taking some here. Fantastic. That's me done for the day. Ended up locking in a couple $1,000. It's not so bad. So cleaning up the initial balance low. Just had to faff around quite a lot. But this squeeze out trapped the buyers. This failure here offered this, and then there's for here. Now continuation under here will be previous day high and PDC. My thesis for that was really most of it came from ES. ES is desperate to get down into those 40s like we talked about. The reason I know that is from looking at the book. All right, I keep looking over here on ES. This is where it wants to go. ES is trying to get down here, and ES is dictating what we're doing right now. Otherwise, we're going to go upside on the Qs. So it's just trying to clean some levels out, trap some more shorts in before maybe going higher later. Yeah, no, very nice, Tyson. I did the same. It's exactly the same play. And there's me for the day. That'll do. Ended up linking them because it just felt like that was the first high probability setup all day. Small size for me. Obviously, I'm not very well, so I'm very worried that I'm reading stuff badly at the moment, but I'm not. It's okay. So about $2,000 on the day or something. All right, so watch now to see if they build this to go lower. I'd be watching the ES and SPY. They're coming into gap fill right here, right now. A little bit further to go, but not much. And you can watch us into here. This is a big level. This is Globex high. This is previous day high and Globex high. We might find a bid here. If not, down here, PDC. And this is the big trend line. Shame they fat so much to do this. Shame they didn't do this move here and then offer a better trade back up. But hey, let's just see. Pretty clear channel here now as well. There's your channel for the session. Where did I enter? I started entering on here. That move. All right, if they start reclaiming initial balance, we go back to view ups again. Remember, it would just be a rotational day. ES has almost closed the gap. Cash gap almost closed, very, very close. It was a tick away. SPY's got further to go. You've got divergence there between the two. SPY has got further to go to close its cash gap. NQ's got a lot further to go. Cash gap on NQ would be down to 412s. You're talking about the NT1 because 2 doesn't go into 15. It's annoying, but there's no way of changing it at the moment on NT. I've been trying to find a way of getting that done. So if you move it to a 16-minute orb or a 14-minute orb, it would do it for you. But yeah, for some reason, the way the coding works in C# is it has to be able to divide into it. Annoying, isn't it? Yeah, it annoys me a lot. All right, they're trying to get this move now. Here's gap fill completed on the ES, not completed yet on the SPY, but it has been completed on the ES. Look at the VIX starting to break out through the previous day low. It's also going to try and do a gap fill here by the looks of it. Here's a move to PDH. Through PDH, remember through PDH, you've got Globex and then PDC. If you've been shorting this and holding for expansion, I'd be, starting to trim a little bit into some of these levels. These are higher time frame levels now. Right, just keep going back to your higher time frame chart. If they want to absorb here, they certainly can. If they want to come deeper into here, they certainly can. If they break down under here, we're looking for a bigger short position, because then we're going to come and fill some of these. But I'd be thinking that this is a pullback into possible area of demand. You can see resistance, 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 breakout, breakout, pullback. I'd be expecting buyers to come in somewhere here. And if failing that, somewhere here, this can be a trap level. And if they don't and they get stuck, then maybe tomorrow or Friday we get a bigger move down. As you're starting to see everything we talked about this morning in Discord, folks. Any possibility of an initial balance breakdown low? I mean, yeah, that's what they're trying to do here. There's PDH, there's PDC, there's Globex, there's trend. Right, so if you're in this short, it's partial, 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 partial hold runners for breaking down. This was dirty. This move here was dirty. And unsurprising. If they start reclaiming IB, then you know what we do. We just go back in rotation. Remember, the low-hanging fruit on ES has been taken. It hasn't been taken on the spiders, and it hasn't been taken on the Qs, but it has been taken on the ES. Oh, have I missed someone saying something? Oh, man. I feel my jaw starting to shatter. I haven't got much left juice in the tank here, folks. Sorry. Probably pushed it a bit today, coming back probably a few days early. But I didn't want to leave you guys thinking that I was never coming back. For those interested, new website is now live. I will be doing a new free course, and I'm thinking I might do a Futures Masterclass course as well in the coming months, which I will get to work on when I'm feeling better. Oh my God, body's shutting down. I think we did a bit of best we could this morning, folks. We didn't chase that long. We wait for it to fail. We look for shorts. We looked for that long back up, but didn't want to participate like ES did. And now you've possibly going to get an expansive day outside initial balance. Here's PDH coming up. Remember, shorts need a breakdown here. You've got lots of liquidity here at 450. If they snap this, we can go lower. 450 is previous day high. It's an area where I would be interested in buying if they start to absorb. Here's the 450s. So if they start letting go of this, you can think about PDC. If they don't let go of this and they start absorbing, it would be an area of interest to be a buyer in. I wouldn't be buying against the grain. Obviously, I'd need some kind of bullish pattern to happen down here, some kind of shift of momentum, because momentum is definitely in a sell right now. Lower time frame. Again, this is just a pullback higher time frame. Just remember that. This is not a pro trend. This is a pullback higher time frame where we expect buyers to step in at some point. If they don't step in, we hold the runners, and you can think otherwise. I'd be definitely taking a partial into these levels if I was you. If you're still holding, just a partial, you can hold your runners. You might get that move down to PDC. It's very, very possible. ES is coming down for it now. Sorry, the spiders is coming down for it now. ES has already done it. Spiders coming for that move. So the cash gap on the spiders will be 607.78. It's very, very close. 607.78. There you go. This is higher time frame demand. I should probably box that in view, shouldn't I, really? Any of you still in this? Any of you still holding? Hopefully lots of you making money here. I'd love to see this come down to 12s for you. Let me have a look. No one on the book down there. They are at 25s. Let me check ES. Yeah, still not at those 40s. I think ES should trade down to 40s, really. Lots of liquidity. 43, 42, 41, 40. If it trades down into there, you might get that move. There is no liquidity above, really, that I'd be interested in on ES. A little bit into 50s and stuff, but I think it will want to come and sweep lower, which might help you hold your runners. Nice, JD. Yeah, Clint, mine's doing that at the moment. I don't know if you're on stream. I just saw you post. Mine is doing the same thing at the moment. It's not resetting. It's only in the gross realized column, though. Fed Powell, when asked about risks of stagflation, we're not seeing that now. Well, yesterday he was saying we're likely to see inflation coming in the next few prints due to the tariffs, which is what we've been talking about, waiting for. Yeah, they've got to be. There must be some issue. I know they're going through updates because they're doing lots of. I don't know what you'd even call it. They're going through affiliate and partner websites at the moment. So I think there's some big updates coming at Tradeovate and Ninja Trader. Even I've had to change a few things for them. SPY still looking for that gap fill by the looks of it. Like I said, I think there's still reasons for ES to trade lower here. 22,425 now on the book. 62 lot. 22,425. Man, it's just so slow. It's crazy how slow it is, both directions, and the lack of follow through and momentum. I felt the same yesterday when I peaked it. The way we moved up was just so slow and grindy, and it feels the same now, like so slow and grindy. Just a real lack of momentum in the market at the moment. Would think that opening 1 minute candle and 5 minute candle would be the same? What? I don't know what you're talking about, Richard. Are you talking about Ninja Trader? It's because, like I said, that the way they open and close candles in Ninja Trader are different. So if you're going to do the New York Open, just set it to 31 minutes on the 1 minute candle. Set it to 9:31. Ninja Trader's always done it different. The open closes on candles on Ninja Trader are just different. I don't know why. It's just how it is. Hang around previous day high. Remember, it's higher time frame demand. I still think ES wants to move lower, and that might drag this market lower with it. $13, $21, $34, $72, $89. Fibs. All fibs. ES starting to get stuck underneath PDC. SPY still not at PDC yet. Divergence between the ETFs and the futures continue. VIX filled its gap. All right, filled its gap up to PDC, finding sellers up there now on the VIX. So traded all the way up towards 1750s. Still think this market has a chance to move lower here, just based on liquidity. That's all I'm basing it on. We're in higher time frame demand here. I wouldn't be taking a new short position in this blue box. I'm just saying, based on liquidity, especially on the ES, I think ES is looking to trade down towards 61.40 right now. But it's so slow, so slow to do it. Here you go. Maybe it's going to come now. It's good for me just to watch this market after a long time away. I really think we're going to trade down a 420s here. Lots of reasons to think that, but see if they have it in them or not. Oh, I might have to call it a day in a second, folks. I'm really struggling here, I'm afraid. I think if I get a good night's sleep, hopefully I can trade with you tomorrow and just work on getting better and better and better physically, so I've got the strength to trade properly next week. All right, reclaiming initial balance. Have a look at ES. ES pushing away. Never filled any of that liquidity down there. Just left it all. Wow. What was that point of selling into 50s, really? Yeah, Aaron, funny you should say that. I'm actually might go and get one of those. They can come to your house here in LA, so I might get that done. All right, just be careful here the rest of the session. Just be careful. You're starting to reclaim initial balance. You're underneath the orb. VWAPs are here. You can think about this. Where might it reprice to? In towards here. Does it find sellers at this same area into 80s or not? For that print lower and the gap fill. Remember, it's only filled the gap on ES. It didn't fill it on SPY, didn't fill it on QQQ, didn't fill it on NQ, did fill it on the VIX. So ES and the VIX got filled, nothing else got filled. Range rotation will just be back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. This can still be a giant flag, all right, on a higher time frame. This can be a giant flag, and eventually we can allow expansion on an H1. Doesn't have to be today, but just be aware of that. We got everything we're looking for. All right, really, this is what we were looking for pre-market. I said I think we were all the way down here when I talked to the team, and I was like, if we keep pushing up, I'll be looking for a failure back into the range, which we've had. That's your low-hanging fruit, really. Back to back test previous day high. So expansion up, back test previous day high. Does it hold it now for a move back up and inside range? We fail previous day high, we come next level down. We just keep looking left, thinking about next level down. PDC, Globex. Fail Globex, I'd be a bit worried because then it can get a little bit washy down into these. And you've got this huge trend line, this white line, all the way up. That's from the last, well, that's basically from Monday morning, the last 3 sessions. Don't be forcing your way. Don't get frustrated. Don't oversize because the ATR's low and stuff, folks. All right. Just keep playing like base hit, base hit, base hit. All the time you're in this rotational kind of play, you have to be thinking about base hit mentality until we go back into pro trend or create a new pro trend. You should just be going base hit, base hit, base hit. All right. Just let them stack up. You can see like 2-3 trades for me today. All I needed, a couple $1,000 done on an awful day's price action. That's about all we can ask for. All right. I'll try and be back tomorrow. I'm not going to make any promises. Hopefully I feel better than today and we can just keep this show on the road now for until the end of the year. Well, until August when I have to go away again for 5 days. But thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys coming back. As ever, if you want to check out the new website, head over to flowzonetrader.com. If any of you are interested in any of the indicators that I use for NinjaTrader or for TradingView, or you want to do the course and join the community, all the links are down below. And see you tomorrow. Trade safe.